Hey, my name's Scott, world traveler, and today we're going to discuss whether Christianity is true or not. What do you think? Okay, so let's get down to it. What makes Christianity not true? What are the basic understandings that people think that just throw it off almost immediately? Like, well, the Gospels and the Bible can't be true. So how could Christianity be true? Or how about Jesus was a nice guy, but he didn't really mean what he said? Or how about the Bible's been changed a lot over time? Let's not even take it into consideration, because why would we? I mean, come on, think about it. Alright, so I'm going to start at the top. Why I'm a Christian and why I think that Christianity is true. And here we go. Oh, and just so for reference, I'm in Hollywood, Florida. Chilling. Waiting to try to get a job. Drinking, hanging out. That's the truth. But wait, he ain't a Christian. How could he be drinking and hanging out and smoking vapes? That don't make no sense. Are you sure? Alright, let's get down to it. Alright. So first off, Jesus supposedly came 2,000 years ago. That makes me think that why would 2,000 years later we still be trusting in some guy that walked the earth 2,000 years ago? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would we even bother? That sounds just mythical, right? Or does it? So when I look at it like this. Jesus came at a specific time. They say that only 2% of the population at Jesus' time actually existed before the population of now, which means only 2% before that. Sounds kind of low, doesn't it? It's interesting. Is it not interesting? Now, if only 2% of the population came before Jesus, then right now is the 98%. Okay, that's good. Okay, I get that. That's understandable. But why would he come right when he did? I mean, what makes that special? I mean, what really makes that special versus any other time in life? Well, in my view, it's like this. Jesus came at the exact time that God meant him to come. And you're like, yeah, so what? Whatever. What are you talking about? Why then? Why at that exact time? Well, I can tell you this. when they came and when they wrote the Gospels, it was on papyrus, which is like animal skins. Yeah, so what? Well, if it was on paper, how long would have that paper have lasted? Not very long at all. I mean, it would have been passed on to the churches, it would have got burnt, it wouldn't have even lasted. I mean, it don't last. Paper does not last as long as papyrus, for one. So if the message need to be spread on beyond, that point, it had to be on something solid. Why not rock? Well, it's hard to write the Gospels on rock, for one. I mean, yeah, the Egyptians wrote a bunch of calligraphy back in the day, but to write the Gospels in full on rock, just think about that. It ain't easy. It ain't easy to write a bunch of stuff on rock. You gotta dig it in. But the other thing is a lot of these guys were in prison when they wrote, well, I'm not saying a lot, but some of them were in prison when they wrote the Gospels. Paul, I mean, how's he going to write on rock while he's in prison? Come on. Think about it. He ain't. And paper ain't around that time. Paper didn't come around until, centuries later. So we got Jesus showing up on the scene, and we got him doing what he did, and we got people writing on skins. Why? Because that was what was available at that time. And why is that important? Well, it's important because if you were the God of the universe, you would know that that is what's going to last. Like, okay, for instance, the year's 2020, and we have more evidence of Christ and His coming now more than we do ever. Why? Because we keep finding skins with stuff written all over them. It's pretty impressive, I must say. And because of that, I think that is part of the reason why God chose the exact time, because He needed it to last. He wanted the message to thrive on. Can you imagine everybody putting it on paper? Seven copies on paper would have already been disappeared by now. You hear? My phone's dying. Hold on. 7 copies, or however many copies, it don't matter. Thousands of copies. Thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. Because that's what they have. They would have been disappeared on paper already. The paper would have been destroyed. It wouldn't have lasted. There's no way. So God must have wanted. You're like, yeah, this dude's total speculation. Yeah, he just wants to think. Yeah. Well, let's take into consideration that God actually wanted us to know. Can you imagine the God of the universe wanting us to know what happened? It's pretty crazy. This dude's he's just a drinking alcoholic. Alcoholic is a name for Alcoholics Anonymous. Those guys came up with the term alcoholic. They revived it from a very earlier source, but alcoholic is the name that's given to people that admit that they have no control over alcohol and that their lives are uncontrollable. Alcoholics Anonymous is a cult. And if you don't know that already, know it now. It's pathetic. I'm not saying go around and drink all you want. I'm just saying it is. When you go into an Alcoholics Anonymous, what do they tell you? God. Well, guess what? God, in their view, is the classroom or the people around you or something else. Man, I'm fat. Give me the strength, Lord, to talk to these people in a good way. Got my tooth punched out about 10-15 years ago. That one. It's fake. Bar fight. Big whoop-de-doo. Do you believe? What do you believe? I mean, you're gonna listen to Alan Watts? Oh, everybody is just one. Oh my, everybody is just one, and we're all just connected, and everything is just... Listen, if you are dreaming, dream on, because you can dream anything you want to. I mean, you can dream that your dreams come true, and everybody else is just a product of pure imagination. We can overcome all things. Yeah, it's like we can do all things. How about Jordan Peterson? The Old Testament is definitely a standard that we should follow, and we should definitely try to come up with the things that we should do as a people, and those things should be good. Now, William Lane Craig, on the other hand, he's like, yo, we need a basis. We need a basis for our understanding. What's that basis? What's that basis, fat boy? Well, that basis is Jesus and the cross and Jesus Christ. That's stupid. Why would you even say that? That's stupid. I mean, that is just the freaking stupidest thing I ever heard. Or is it? Is it? Is it? Rah! It's not. Why is it not? There's evidence for Jesus coming. I'm not going to give you all the evidence. There's Gnostic evidence, biblical evidence, and there is also non-biblical evidence that Jesus came. Which one do you want? Which one do you want to hear? I mean, do you want to hear like the historian, or do you want to hear the Biblicarian, or do you want to hear, what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? Alright, well, I'm going to end this cut with this. If you don't like me and you don't like what I had to say, then listen to the next session, because I am going to get deep. Deep! And you have no clue just how deep it gets.